So I called DoorDash and said, it says that my dinner's been delivered. I have not gotten it. So she checked the notes, and it said in the notes that the DoorDasher decided to deliver my dinner to my neighbor. And why Antoine made that decision, I don't know why Antoine made that decision. And I sure would like to know which neighbor ate my Chick-fil-A. Happy Monday! It's my last Monday of the school year, you guys, and I have mixed emotions about it. I mean, I'm obviously excited that I'm going to get a break, but I mean, it's not necessarily exciting that I'm getting an earlier break because I'm having to go through a medical procedure, so there's that. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everyone who watched my unboxing of my first Louis Vuitton, and just had positive words of encouragement, and just encouraging me to basically enjoy the fact that I was able to do that for myself and not be apologetic about it. I really appreciate that. I have moved into my cosmetic pouch. That's step one for me. And I have also taken my bags out of the box. A lot of you, thank God for you guys, because I would not have known, told me that you do not want to store the handbags or the items in the boxes because the canvas needs to breathe. So you want to just keep them in the dust bags. And so that is what I am doing. I also watched a couple of videos on just how to properly care for them so that I can keep them in very good condition, given the fact that these are really investments to a certain extent. So I know I watched one person, I think her channel is Minx for All. She had a very good video on how she stores her handbags. So I will continue to do research. I definitely think this won't be my last. Just I can already see how it could be like this addictive thing to do. So I'm already starting to save, and I have a wish list already created. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of share that experience with you guys and to connect with other women out there that felt like some of the words that I was saying in relationship to being single and unmarried and childless resonated with them. And I didn't say this in the video, but I want to make it very clear. I am not unmarried and childless by choice. Like, if I were blessed to meet someone that I thought was a great human being and we were in a place to have kids, I'm all for that. But I don't want to get married and have kids just to be divorced and having to raise a child on my own if I can avoid that. So I've been holding out for the right person. I just didn't know I'd be holding out this long, as I'm sure the rest of you that are in my position feel. So in the meantime, I'm just working on, appreciating my life the way that it is. And it's just nice to know that there are other women out there that are feeling the same way. And quite honestly, I'm surprised that I even said my age on the video, because I'm very self-conscious about making it known how old I am. Strictly, and this is the honest to God truth, strictly because I am unmarried and I do not have kids. If I were married, and even if I had been married and gotten divorced and had kids, I would have no qualms about announcing my age, because I would feel like, oh, it's fine because I'm 41 and I have had kids and I have been married. I have done what adult women are supposed to do my age. But because I have not done any of those things, I'm very self-conscious about saying how old I am, and that is something that I need to work on. So that is my reflective moment on this Monday morning. Aside from that, I do want to say hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I know that I picked up probably about 100 or so over the weekend, I think, just from the unboxing and meeting people through that. So I want to say hello. I want to say welcome. I hope that you stick around, even though I'm a teacher and maybe that's not what you do. It's just nice to have friends and have people to talk to. So that's my weekend. I'm on my way to get a Starbucks. I'm running late, and I'm going to be that employee that shows up to work late with the Starbucks in her hand, because it's for the good of the kids and for me at this point. But it's Monday. This is my last week of teaching elementary school. I'm quite sure I will be done as of Friday. I will be on medical leave as of next Monday. My surgery is next Wednesday. That's also a question some of you asked. I am having fibroids removed, which is technically called a myomectomy. It is not being done laparoscopically. I have to have an incision just based on the size and the placement of my fibroids, and I plan on like sharing as much of that experience as I can for the purposes of just educating people that might have to face that or have some anxiety about that. I mean, I do have my own anxieties about it. I've been looking for videos to kind of help quiet those anxieties, but that surgery is scheduled for April the 24th, so in about a week and a half. So I'm just gonna grab my Starbucks and then I'm gonna head to work. I probably won't talk after I grab this drink because I gotta get to work and like get my mind right. So I will talk to you later on today for sure. Hello guys, I have to say I am pretty proud of myself. It is Monday, April 15th, tax day. And it is just about 6 o'clock. I'm getting ready to leave. It's late in the sense that today was a minimum day, so school's been over since 1:15, and I'm still here. But that's okay, because I told myself I was going to have to do that this week because I need to get some things wrapped up. So after school, I got some packing done. I got some copies made. I got some things together for not the student teacher, for the long-term sub. I just finished filming 2 monthly favorites videos for you guys. So here it is. I did the month of May. That book, I got to figure out where that's going because that no longer is something that I want to have in my life. So yeah, I just finished filming those 2 videos and updated my grade book with things that I need to get in there before the long-term sub starts. And now I'm headed home. I think I am at a place where there's just a little bit more I need to put into my lesson plans, and then I'm done, and it is what it is. I've had a great amount of help with getting my room together, so this is what it looks like now. So we're a little bit more progressed with taking down the border. She started working over there. I told her to leave that area alone, and student work is down, and this little area is in process. Including that I'm leaving that there because that's where I'm filming the picture book video, so I don't want it to look depressing when you guys are watching that. Some of you asked to see how I'm packing up. I can't really show you a lot of that because they've been doing it for me, but I just cleared this area, so all of my TEs and things that I have to check in have been taken out. I do need to check that stack down there because I can already see some stuff that does not belong to me that I need to kind of get put away. So I thought really quickly I would show you where I'm putting it. And if I stop talking abruptly, it's because my camera ran out of battery, because that's going to happen any second now. But right now, everything is being stored in this pod. So this is all my stuff. I still have to empty these 2 filing cabinets, but this cabinet has been emptied. And typically what I do is I just start putting things in bins. And it's pretty organized. Luckily, I've only been in this classroom for a couple years, so that really wasn't enough time for things to get just completely and totally out of control. And I'm a pretty organized person, so it's not been too bad. And then as far as my TEs, I took those out. I emailed the librarian and let her know that all my supplemental materials are going to be in the pod, in these cubbies, so that she can find them in one location. So I try to categorize them. So everything over here is Wonders or guided reading related. These are all the readers from Wonders. Most of them are in order. There's a few that are randomly out of order, but that she can handle that. And then these are math TEs, supplemental materials. This is science and social studies. These are DVDs, CD sets, the TEs for science and social studies. And so everything for the long-term sub is going to be like relegated to this area here. So I've made copies for her. I have planned for about 2 weeks. And so my strategy is I planned 2 weeks for her. She's going to come in. Basically, her first half of the day is always going to be state testing. I linked using Plan Book, which has been a lifesaver. I linked the Go Noodle stretching video I want her to use. So all she has to do is log into my Plan Book, click on the link. It should take her directly to the video. I told her the math lesson. And what's nice about Plan Book is anything that I would normally do. So for example, I put the math lesson up. I gave her the homework pages. In the notes section of Plan Book, I typed for her, collect these assignments on Tuesdays and Thursdays, give the students 25 points credit for turning it in on time, getting it corrected, put it in the grade book under this category, this is how you weighted. So it's really nice because everything is really just housed in one place. So one of my stressors was that, do I need to write like a handbook of how my classes ran? But as I was working last night, I realized I can just put all of that in Plan Book and she can just access that. So I've done that for her. I've made the copies that she needs for the first 2 weeks. I planned out Wonders for her so that she sees like the pattern, and then she should be able to pick up from there. For my class, Wonders is going to get real easy in comparison to what we've been doing, because I'm not going to put her through like the intense nature of trying to pull small groups and going on Connect Ed and administering the test that way and doing a writing lesson and grading the writing. I'm just going to make this as straightforward and easy as possible, which really is a benefit to the kids because the tests are going to be easier. So I'm feeling much better. There's still that element of like, oh my God, I'm going to leave on Friday and I'm out of control of everything. But I definitely feel like I'm going to leave her feeling like she knows what she's doing. She's prepared. She has her copies. And she has enough in front of her to know how to proceed. She's going to be doing social studies and science, really just social studies. So I planned science for her the first week, got all the materials for her, and that gives her that first week to kind of map out how she wants social studies to go, if that makes sense. Because I think what our plan is she's going to teach an economics chapter in social studies and do like a market day type thing along the way. And I think my teammates, Jenny and Peggy, are going to do it also, so they can kind of work as a team to kind of figure that out. So that's what's up in room F3. I'm going to go home now. I need to fill out some paperwork, and there's something, oh, I need to fill out my paperwork for my passport also. So I'm just gonna, I wanted to check in, let you know how I'm doing. I feel like there's something I was gonna tell you and I cannot remember what that is. And I'm sure as soon as I turn the camera off, I'll remember what it is, but I just can't remember what it is now. So yeah, and on that note, I'm gonna say goodbye. So I will talk to you guys at some point tomorrow. See you then. I am leaving the library for the second time. It's about 5 o'clock. The first time I'm checking in today. I had a passport appointment at 3:30. I thought I had everything, and in true LaTanya fashion, I didn't. I forgot my checkbook. So I had to go home, grab that, come back, and I just made a return at Ann Taylor Loft, and I'm going to get in my car right now because I have some fun news for you guys that I'd like to share. So I'm gonna walk to my car and I'll tell you all about it in just a second. You should be proud of me though. I was going to get some Wetzel's pretzels since I'm at the mall, but I am resisting the urge. I'm proud of me if you're not. So I'll talk to you in a minute. All right, I am in the car. It is just before 5:15 and I'm about to get a manicure. That's where I'm on my way to. Well, that is exciting for me. That is not the exciting news that I want to share with you guys. The exciting news is I got an email today and I was informed that I am scheduled to teach 8th grade social studies, language arts next year. And I'm super excited because that was precisely what I wanted to teach. I'm not gonna lie, there's a part of me of like, wow, you're going all the way up. That's as high as I can teach in my district without having to be re-credentialed in some manner. But the nice thing is the school that I'm teaching at, my last round of 5th graders will be 8th graders next year. So my fingers are crossed that I get maybe 1 or 2. But I'm just excited to know what I'm teaching. On Friday, I have a meeting with someone from our professional development department that is going to meet with me to go over some of the aspects of the language arts curriculum that they use in the middle school level. They do not use the same thing that we use at the elementary sites. They use Study Sync. I'm just excited by the content. So when I was going through the last transfer process. I was going to go to middle school. I switched at the very last second because luckily I was offered a transfer. I was in a position to be able to choose whether or not I wanted to go to the middle school that I'm heading to now or the school I'm at now. And while I was in that decision-making process, I went to visit some classrooms at the middle school level, and there was an 8th grade class that I was in for just a little bit of time, and I was just really excited by it because of the content that they were teaching. So I'm excited that I actually get to teach it now. So now it's just the time for me to wrap my mind around that and figure all those things out. But that's something that I'm excited by. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the meeting on Friday just to kind of jump in there. So that's exciting. I'm going to be an 8th grade teacher next year, middle school, language arts, social studies. I'm feeling very optimistic. I know that middle schoolers are notorious for hormones and attitudes, but I'm kind of looking forward to that, oddly enough. As far as my day, we are just in the process of just reviewing for state testing. A lot of time being spent on math, as I've said before. We're getting close to finishing up this round of Wonders. I'm having to run it a little bit different in relation to my small groups. We're reading a chunk of the reader together, then I'm sending them back to finish it because I need them to have this finished like by tomorrow so that we can focus on the writing aspect. I'm also glad that I was able to check off my list getting my passport taken care of. Like, that was a process. I've been like working on that in some form or fashion for months. At one point I thought I had applied for a passport, but I didn't. Then I thought I could find my passport, but I couldn't. Then I needed my original birth certificate. I thought I had that, but I didn't. Then I had to order it. It came, and now I'm all set. I applied for it, paid for it. I should get it in 4 weeks, and that is plenty of time before my trip to Finland. So I'm feeling good. I was supposed to film some picture book videos today, but that didn't happen. I might go in early tomorrow to get that done, like before school, because I really need to have those filmed. It's just unfortunate that some of the videos I will be wearing the exact same outfit, which I didn't really want that to happen. Didn't want that to happen, but that's going to happen. Today, I read Rosie Revere, Engineer. Really like that book for growth mindset. It's really cute. I will link that in the description box. I'll try and give you an image of it tomorrow when I take some clips. And that's it. I'm just excited. I'm just excited to know where I'm going to be, what I'm going to be teaching, what grade level it's going to be. And there's something I'm contemplating doing. I'm going to think on it a little bit more. I might share it with you guys. I might not. So if you never hear anything else, it's because I chose to keep it to myself for the time being. But that's it. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to focus on my driving. We're saying goodbye to these nails, and I already know what I want. Hopefully she can do it. So far, she's been able to do everything that I show her. If not, I got a backup. So I will more than likely talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello guys, it is Wednesday. I did vlog yesterday. I couldn't remember if I vlogged, but I haven't vlogged at all today. It is about 5:10. Today, just to run this day down really quickly, we did some math review. We finished the small groups for Wonders. Tomorrow we are going to be prepared to take part 1 of the Wonders assessment, and then I'll do the writing practice with them. That's my plan. so that they can do the second part of the Wonders assessment on Friday. So they have another opportunity for another writing grade with me, excuse me, and to take another one of those heavier assessments because they will not be taking those when the long-term sub is here. We did that. I also had a Kagan coaching session with someone from our district who is also a good friend of mine and who was also my BITSA support provider. BITSA, I don't know if you guys have it in other states, but it's basically this induction program where you have to, it's almost like credentialing program part 2. So she was my induction supervisor, kind of like a mentor teacher. So I've known her the duration of my career here in this district. So the coaching is they come in, you let them know what structure you're gonna be practicing with your class. They observe it for a few minutes, give you some tips, some ways you can improve it, and then they go about their day. So that happened today. My kids did really well, honestly. Given the fact that I'm dealing with a lot of things, trying to wrap up this year, I just took the easy route. We did a structure that they're pretty familiar with instead of me trying something totally new and stressing myself out with that. So they did a really good job. I was proud of them. She was impressed, and that's all that you would hope for. After school, luckily my colleague reminded me I had a school site council meeting, which is my last one here. And then I came back, and what I just finished doing was basically cleaning up the room, just putting things back in their place, and getting things ready for my long-term sub. So last year I did something for my class. They really liked it. Every day of testing, they got some kind of treat, and these are 2 products that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers. I'm sure you guys have seen something like this, but they have these little notes. So here's a sample of one. So like, get this one day, give it your very best on today's test. So they'll get one treat a day. Last year when I did this, why is my viewfinder upside down? There we go. Last year when I did this, I had my room mom take charge, and we got all of the candy through donations. This year, my principal really liked what I did with my class last year. She asked if I'd be willing to share the whole spring training thing along with the other 4th grade teachers, or along with the 4th grade teachers and 5th grade teachers. And I said, sure. And then I also told her this was something else that I did for them that seemed to kind of brighten each day for them. And I really enjoyed giving them a little treat every day. And she was nice enough to order all the candy we would need to get us throughout testing for each 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade class, which is, you know, a pretty big deal. That was very nice of her. So I was in charge of ordering it through Amazon and making sure we had enough. And so that's how I have a testing treat every day of testing for my students through the kindness of my principal. So what I just did for my long-term sub is I want to make things as easy as possible. So I just labeled all of these and told her what date to give them out. So she knows this is Wednesday, May 1st for the most part. It doesn't really matter what treat you give them on what day. There's only really one that you want to give on the right day, because this is the one that says testing is, let's get one that's ready for the camera. Testing is officially over, so this one you definitely give on the last day. There's some that I choose to give on certain days, like I think the first day of the math test is when I give them the one that says you're sharp as a pencil, to give them a fresh pencil. When we are doing the language arts performance task, there's this one that says, I'll just hold it up like this. It's not nerdy to get wordy, because, you know, they typically have to do some writing. So yeah, that is what I just spent my time doing. What I'm getting ready to do now is I have told myself I have to film 2 picture book videos for you guys today, because I'm running out of time. So I'm getting ready to put this camera down because I don't want to take too much battery life vlogging, because I need it for that. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go home and I don't know what, try and be productive to some extent. So it was a good day all in all. Here's my new manicure. Do you love it? I love it. So yeah. Oh, I'm going to share this book with you. I read this book with my class today. They have been begging for me to read it. Perfect. Very minimal text. Okay. And at first when I was reading this, I was a little worried about how in depth or what I could really pull from this book. But if you get that book and you have the book, What Do You Do with a Problem, you can kind of tie the two things in, because the eraser doesn't want any sort of marking on his perfectly white piece of paper. Pencil comes along and does all kinds of drawing and scribbling and dirtying of the paper, and there's a period of time where the eraser is just beside himself with just irritation, and then the eraser starts to make art out of the pencil markings. And I'll show that to you really quick. It kind of starts right here. So you can see the pencil has an idea, and then it starts to make a sun, and then the picture it creates just kind of grows from there using eraser marks. And so at the end I said, this is kind of like the book, What Do You Do with a Problem? I said the eraser thought this was going to be a problem in the beginning, and he found a way to turn that problem into a positive, or found a way to find an opportunity in that problem. So it turned out to be okay. You can definitely use that to kind of tie in that idea of, like, sometimes what seems like a problem is really an opportunity to come up with something creative, or it could even be, you know, sometimes things that are imperfect can become perfectly beautiful. That was what I chose to do with that book. But they loved it, and they were super into this book. They really, because I have some tattletales this year, like, it is off the chain. And I said, you know what, I think we're gonna have to read Tattletongue. And they just love this book, especially because the kid's name in this book is Josh, and we do have a student named Josh. They were begging me to read it, begging me to finish it, because I had to read it in pieces. So I read Tattletongue. They got 2 books today, and they loved it. So I will link those in the description box of this week's video. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop off the camera. I probably won't vlog anymore because I need to do these videos and I need to go home and be productive. But it is winding down. Here's the update of the classroom takedown. I am taking down all my personal effects. So that wall is empty. I need to get that little black thing there that was holding my diploma. There's all my personal things there that I'm gonna take home either today or tomorrow. So yes, that's what's up. So I don't have anything else to say. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Happy Friday, you guys. Happy last day of school to me. I had the best of intentions of checking in yesterday, but I cannot even tell you how atrocious of a day that I had yesterday. It all started when my favorite trainer had to have a sub for my Orange Theory class at 5 a.m. and then it just progressively went downhill from there. Work was just chaotic because there were just a ton of things going on simultaneously. I had my long-term sub shadowing me, so I was trying to make sure I gave her the attention she needed to start to make her feel comfortable with taking over on Monday. And so I was just trying to make sure that that was handled. I have student issues that were just constantly happening. I needed new tires. I'd spent $700 on a new set of tires yesterday. There are some dynamics at work that occurred yesterday that made the day a little bit more stressful than what it needed to be. Then I got home finally, and after the rough day I had had by that point, I decided I'm gonna have Chick-fil-A for dinner. That's gonna be the thing that makes me feel better. I've had to buy tires. My favorite trainer wasn't there. Work was a hot mess and a half. So I'm just gonna end this day with some Chick-fil-A. So I put my order on DoorDash because I didn't have the energy to go get it. DoorDash says it's gonna come. An hour passes. I am twiddling my thumbs, wondering where my food is. And I log back on a DoorDash, and DoorDash said at that point it had been delivered 25 minutes ago. So I called DoorDash and said, it says that my dinner's been delivered. I have not gotten it. So she checked the notes, and it said in the notes that the DoorDasher decided to deliver my dinner to my neighbor. And why Antoine made that decision, I don't know why Antoine made that decision. And I sure would like to know which neighbor ate my Chick-fil-A. So now I need to look at all my neighbors with a little bit of side-eye because somebody ate my Chick-fil-A last night. Antoine, the DoorDasher, did not text to say that he had arrived, didn't call to say that he was outside. So if Antoine got lost, he did not use any of his critical thinking skills to get himself out of that situation. By this point, it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm starving. And I told the DoorDash person, I said, I don't know how this could have happened because I leave very explicit instructions on how to find my condo because people always have an issue with where it's located. So I give cross streets, detailed information, and there's no reason why Antoine should have delivered my Chick-fil-A to my neighbor. And then I even said, okay, maybe Antoine delivered it to my neighbor and then got in the car and realized, oh gosh, I just delivered it to the wrong person. He still could have called me to say, you know what, LaTanya, I accidentally delivered your DoorDash to the wrong person. I'm so sorry. I would have been okay with that. But to just knowingly give it to the wrong person and then leave the person that ordered it hungry, it's just not acceptable. So that happened last night. And by the time I had dinner, I was over it. So I ended up calling DoorDash. She was very pleasant. She refunded my money, obviously, gave me another credit, and I ate and watched The Real Housewives of New York and went to bed, and here I am on my last day of elementary school. So I'm on my way to Starbucks. I mean, it's obvious that I need to have a Starbucks today. It's an end of an era for me. I want to enjoy this last day with my class, enjoy my last day of elementary school. It should be a fun day. All they really have to do is take a math quiz. And then they have PE, library, our pregame little party is today, and I will walk off into the sunset of my elementary life. So I'm really hoping, oh, and the other thing that's happening today that I'm really looking forward to is I'm meeting with someone from our professional development department, and she's going to start introducing me to the curriculum materials that I will need for 8th grade. So I'm really looking forward to that because, as you know, I'm super excited at just the idea of teaching social studies and language arts in middle school. So you know what? It's going to be a good day. Yesterday was probably the worst I've had in a long time, and I am declaring that today it's going to be better because it has to be. It really can't get any worse than what happened yesterday. So I'm going to try my best to check in with you guys throughout the day. It's going to be hard because I am going to be super busy today between my long-term sub and getting the kids ready for testing and things like that. So if I don't check in with you during the course of the day, I will check in with you at some point for sure. So I will talk to you soon. Well, let's see, what time is it? Hello, everyone. It is about 10:15 on Friday night. I am sitting on my bed in my bedroom with Genesis, getting into things she probably shouldn't be in. And I can't, this vlog is going to come to an end in no way, shape, or form the way that I imagined it. In my mind, I was going to have this opportunity at some point in the day to just really calmly reflect on like my last day of the school year, and really more than likely my last day teaching elementary school. And I knew the day was going to be busy, as I mentioned on the way to work this morning, but I had no clue and underestimated just how busy it would be. And how stressful, honestly, how I underestimated how stressful this last few days would be. With just trying to do a lot of things simultaneously, like really wrap up my school year, have everything prepared for a long-term sub, get the kids ready and do all the festivities that I normally do for state testing, take care of things outside of work, like making sure I get things done, like I needed tires and things like that before I am kind of immobile for a few weeks. And I feel like for the past 48 hours, if not maybe a little bit longer, I just haven't had the opportunity to breathe, to think, to calmly think about what I need to do, to prioritize. I just feel like I've been go, 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 go. And I'm really surprised that there didn't come a point today where I actually cried, because I just felt like I was barely holding it together all day and trying to like make it look like I was calm, but I was just freaking out on the inside all day. The bright spot of it all, or there's a couple bright spots. So it was overwhelming, but I got to meet with the person from professional development about 8th grade curriculum and just how all that's going to work. And I am like more excited than I already was with just the subject matter that I get to talk about and teach, the content, the age group, and just kind of getting in there and fiddling around with it. I will be using Study Sync. If anybody uses that, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. So that was good. And I genuinely felt like the kids were going to miss me and were saddened that I had to leave a month early. One little girl has been asking me quite often if they can come to my house, which obviously wouldn't be appropriate, but I asked her if she played a sport and like maybe I can keep in touch with her that way. And then at the end of the day, they gave me some very sweet gifts, some very sweet cards that were really touching, and like some of the things they wrote in the cards were really sweet. Some of the kids were actually started crying. I kept reminding them that you know, who knows, they may see me again someday. So it was overwhelming and stressful, but I also felt like I would be missed. I didn't even, like, the day was so busy, I didn't even get the chance to stop by and like say goodbye to people that I work with and give them a hug and all of that. I'm definitely going to make time to make that happen. I'll probably stop by and just say goodbye to some people I didn't get to speak to on Monday. But it was just, I just can't even describe it. So what I'm going to do is just what I intended to do. Is just not going to be in the format that I thought, and just kind of reflect on very briefly, because I don't want this vlog to be forever, just my feelings ending elementary school. And I honestly, my feelings are, is it ecstatic? Ecstatic. Not necessarily like I didn't like elementary school and I'm just ecstatic to not be teaching it, but just like I feel like I did my time. Like I feel like I enjoyed the years that I taught it. I had some great times. I feel like my time in elementary school built me into the teacher that I feel I am today. Gave me a lot of experiences, taught me a lot about myself as a person, as a teacher, as a friend, as a colleague, as a worker. And so I really am appreciative of it. I had a great time. I had great kids. I met great parents, had great interactions. But I really feel like my time is now, the time has come for me to make a change. And I feel like the change that I'm about to make is very appropriate and like timely. Like it feels like this is all happening at the right time. So I don't really have any sadness. I have really no sadness about the transition from elementary to middle school. There are definitely things about elementary school that I know I'll miss, like just the innocence of the kids and like kind of like living through their lives. But I'm just very excited about the experience and what it's going to feel like to work with older kids who are a little bit more developed in who they are and what they believe and what they think, and exploring that and looking at curriculum in like a little bit more intense and deeper way, and just all of that. I just am excited about the next chapter. So that's where I'm at. This is like the most realist close to the vlog. Like it is 10:15 at night. I just got home for good reason. School ended. I did a little bit of cleaning up in my room, loaded up my car a little bit, talked with my long-term sub for a bit, got things ready for Monday for state testing for her. So that's all set. Went to happy hour with Jenny, Peggy, Liza, and then after that I went out and just treated myself, and you know, maybe I'll share what that was at a later date. But and that brings me to getting home now, and I just finished eating my leftover pizza from happy hour, and I've got a root beer on my nightstand, and I'm just looking forward to taking a nice relaxing shower and just relaxing in my bedroom and just kind of forcing myself to start winding down, just kind of relaxing as I get ready for next week. So what's weird about all this is that this is the last school vlog for the school year. It doesn't mean it's the last vlog, but it's really the last vlog where my focus is on what I did in my classroom this week, lessons that I've taught. It's the end of my elementary information that I'll be sharing, and going forward the nature of the vlogs right now will be me getting ready for surgery. So my intention is to vlog starting tomorrow, maybe Sunday, maybe Monday, I don't know. But before my surgery, excuse me, and just kind of talk about, you know, the things that I'm doing to prepare for this procedure. What are my feelings going into it, what I've learned, and document as much as that as I can. I can't necessarily guarantee when that'll be uploaded because it just depends on how I feel, but it'll be that. And then over the summer, me, you know, setting up a classroom, looking at curriculum, and then it's going to be all about those middle school vlogs. So it's kind of weird to realize that, like, this is my last elementary school vlog. So I'm gonna wrap it up here and start another one tomorrow. It's gonna be my goal. And yeah, that's it. It's not as dramatic as I thought, but this is the end of my experience. This is the reality. I don't want to put on a show, but this is how it ended. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, or if you have any ideas of videos you'd like me to do in relationship to my experience teaching elementary school and then my experience in middle school, leave that in the comments section below. I was kind of thinking of maybe at some point next year doing a elementary versus middle school video, but I haven't fully fleshed that idea out yet. But anyway, yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment as always if you'd like to, and I'll be sure to respond. And I will see you in the next vlog. Until then, I will talk to you guys later. Good night.